Hey guys, thanks a lot for watching our previous video where we installed the TOMEI single exit exhaust on our Subaru BRZ. Today, we're going to install the dual exit system from TOMEI, full titanium system, coming in at 24 pounds. So let's get to it. All right guys, so this is the part that matches up to the factory OEM front pipe. We're going to use the stock OEM gasket just like we did on the single system, so the dual is going to be exactly the same. We're not going to use the OEM bolts because they do not fit through the flange that TOMEI provides. This is a nice 8mm flange though. This is really good quality, but we're going to use the bolts that they provide to attach it. So let's get that on. So these are the bolts that TOMEI provided for us to match up from this flange to the OEM. If you're going to use like an aftermarket pipe, they do include a gasket. We're not going to use this because, as I showed you guys, the donut gasket fits in here perfectly. Here's all the springs. These are for the exhaust hangers, and this is for the tip silencer, and then this is just some bolt smooth paste that's recommended for the bolts. Notice this is what I talked about in the previous video. This is the stopper, and the springs are actually going to pull this thing tight together. And this can rotate, but the springs will actually line up properly straight once this is installed properly. So we got to get this hung up on the front end, get this exhaust hanger in, and then we'll get to the back section. One of the fun things about this, we already did the passenger side, is getting this all lined up since this is free floating. What I would do is, what I'm going to do on the second side is I'm just going to leave this loose, and I'm actually going to put this on. Let's do it right now together. I'll put this on. Okay, and what I do know is these are going to line up, so I want to rotate this, you know, so it's going to come out the right proper spot. Then I want to get these hangers in, then I'm going to tighten up this bolt. So I'm going to push those through and get this other one. Okay, by getting these in, see how it kind of lifted the exhaust up? Now I kind of want to see the TOMEI, but I think I'm just going to end up putting this right here on this edge, and that's going to get everything lined up properly where it needs to be. So once we line that up, so before I tighten anything up and before I put this bolt on, I'm gonna start putting the springs on just to get everything tightened up. So as you can see, it's all hanging right now. Plenty of clearance here and through here. But let's get the springs on. I already have my clamps here, which I plan on doing right about this way. And the spring will come here and here. This one will go like this. So let's get some springs on these. This is what you don't want to do. You want to plan ahead. So I need to undo this real quick. All right guys, so I got the lower springs on. As you can see, I'm going to end up putting this clamp like right here on the back side. It's going to make it look really nice from this angle here, from the rear end. So this one will end up rolling up here like this. One thing to note is these clamps, there's 4 of this, I think they're 76mm clamps, 79 to 74mm clamps. These are for the rear section. There's a larger one for that front pipe up there. One thing with this system is you actually don't need to really worry about the lining up of this, because once you put your spring in, these 2 welds where the hooks are going to line up on this side. So you want to make sure you put your right on your right side and your left on your left side. The springs are on the outside, and I want my clamp on the inside right here. So nice clean, put my bolt in. You can put it like this if you want, so it's a little bit less exposed, but that's how we're going to do it. Let's get that spring on. All right guys, so you guys see me adjusting this. This If the exhaust hangers were actually welded on here, it'd be a little bit easier, but you just have to tighten these up just a little bit, and then you got to wiggle everything around as I kind of was just doing to get your tips all perfectly centered and everything like that. And these sliding up or down lifts the exhaust as well as moves it left to right. So this is your adjustment point, and then you just want to check your hangers and stuff like that. But overall, this thing's adjusting pretty easily. There is no left or right on the tip on this side of it, so it's all done from this hanger. So if I want to bring that down a little, I just want to go like this. There we go. Cool. Let's get to tighten everything else out and let's start this thing up. So when I do this, I use a small 1/4" drive just to tighten these things up. You don't want to ever over tighten like titanium. So I just want to get these things nice and snug. And if you look at the little pink piece of paper that comes in the package I showed you last time, it's kind of a key. You don't want to over tighten these too much. It's not like you want to use air tools and just hammer this thing in. But I'm happy with that. It's just nice and snug. I could still go more, but I'm happy with it. Again, like I like these because they're up in here and I finger tighten these. I put these right up on the edge of the pipe that's going this way. One thing with the titanium like this is you want to clean everything off before you start the car. You're going to have fingerprints all over it, hence why I'm wearing the gloves. So some key points about this is, as I mentioned before, it is 24 pounds. So this is a lot lighter. I can look up the difference, but a Gen 1 car is heavier exhaust, and a Gen 2, the new ones, actually are lighter from the factory. So this thing's a 24-pound system itself. Tons of weight savings still with a dual system. That's one of the reasons you want to go with this. Okay, cool. So I'm really happy. I like the fit and finish of this. A little bit of adjustment on these clamps and barrel hangers here, but I like the tips ended up working out pretty well. There's a little bit of work. I keep saying a little bit of work on these if you never mess with these, but once you kind of get everything in place, everything just lined up really good. I think these tips lined up perfectly. Really, really good system overall. I'm excited to hear this though. Let's go. So this is what comes in the package that we actually didn't open. You got a nice TOMEI badge. You got some TOMEI engine specialist stickers, license plate frame, and then these are all the QR codes for the installation manual. So you can check all this stuff out here. Really cool company, how they actually put this together really, really well. So far, I'm just cruising, just went a little bit down the road here. I'm not hearing any drone or anything crazy. I can hear the exhaust note, but I don't hear any like buzzy sounds or anything like that. So we're gonna pick up some speed on this main road here, and we'll see what's going on with it. But I really like it so far. It's got a nice deep tone to it.